today and looking at shadows, this time of a Gulf T, and you can see that we've labeled it. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and the shadow is going towards the northwest, which means the sun, which is opposite, if I scan up here, the sun hiding behind the clouds is in the southern view toward the east. And so in the morning, the sun is in the east and the shadow is in the west, is what we're seeing here. And we're going to just talk a little bit about the compass that's down. Yeah, we have 4 different directions: north, south, west, and east. And we're trying to understand what's going on between the sun's position and where the shadow is. So the sun is in the east, the shadow is toward the west. In this particular case, we know the sun is towards south of east because the shadow is towards north of west. Hi everyone, we're back inside with some measurements. We're going to continue talking about the compass, and then we're going to simulate with a flashlight the measurements that we took outside with the sun, because we can compress hours of information into a couple minutes.
All right, so one of the key components that has to do with this sun tracking activity is the compass. All right, so with the compass, there are those 4 cardinal directions. You have north, south, west, and east. Okay, so we are going to be using a type of compass with the sun tracker, and you will see it as we shift down to our sun tracker. All right.
So this is the setup that you have. You have this notebook, and you can see that we have our north aligned with north, and the red end of the pointer is towards north. If I were to move this sheet of paper, the red stays the same place, but now it's not lined up with north, and I want to be lined up with north for my measurements. We're going to take the flashlight and start with sunset, or sunrise rather. So when sun rises, it is, oh, perfect. Yep. Low in the sky, and you can see how the shadow actually goes way off the table over here. So when the sun is low, the shadow is very long, and then as the earth spins, the sun appears to get higher in the sky, and it's also moving, right? So the shadow moves. Here we were at 11 a.m. the last time we were together over here, and see how the shadow's now on the page. And then as we get lined up to the highest point it is in the sky at noon, we're right lined up with that intersecting north line, and it is the shortest shadow of the day. You can see here I have a dot just to the side. I took over the weekend 1 p.m. and it's a little bit off of center. And as we continue to set, the shadow gets longer and it's going in the opposite direction. The sun sets in the west, so our shadow is toward the east. In our time of year, the sun actually sets north of west, so the shadow is going to be south of east. So the 2 things we want you to remember: when the sun is low, the shadow is long. When the sun is high in the sky, the shadow is considerably shorter. The shortest time for the shadow is noon. Low sun, long shadow.
So you're going to have 2 sets. You're going to have 2 sets of long shadows. The shadows are going to be longest in the morning, just after sunrise, and the shadow is going to be long again in the evening when you approach sunset. Okay, so it's going to follow that pattern of long, because it's going to be sunrise, so long. When the sun is at noon, the shadow is going to be short, and then when it gets to sunset, the shadows are going to be long again. Okay, so it's going to always follow that pattern of long, short, long.
So question for you. Can I have a shadow if the sun has not risen yet?
No, you can't, because one of the key components to having a shadow is that you have to have a source of light. That is one of the only ways to make a shadow. And you can have a shadow with either the natural sunlight, or just like we were simulating in here, with the flashlight or like a light bulb or a lamp. So that's the only way that you are going to get a shadow, is if you have a source of light. So you won't have a shadow when there's no sun or no light.
Have a good day, everyone.